Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight to rename the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, in the home of the
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lakeville, Connecticut, the home of Lime Rock Road Course Park. A great 7-turn facility. Again, Lakeville, Connecticut. It's going to be a great night here for the Turndown for What iRacing Truck Series presented by NAV, the Network Alliance for Veterans, in part by or solely by Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross at cfross at yahoo.com, cfrossnav at yahoo.com, excuse me. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody out that's out there in the land of Twitch and YouTube. And one more time, welcome back. Hope everybody had a decent Remembrance Day of 9/11, and that national anthem means so much, especially after all that. You see all the video footage and whatnot of the recovery and the flag that fell and how it was tattered and torn, and all the people that helped out in the several days, weeks, and almost months after. Big thank you to everybody. And yeah, 9/11, we absolutely remember. Never forget. All right, qualifying now underway. Let's go ahead and clear the boards. Let's get ready to see who's going to find their way to the top of the charts in this 7-turn road course. Again, out there in Lakeville, Connecticut. It's gonna be a phenomenal night. Cannot wait to see exactly how this plays out. A lot of people kind of complaining about how the road course was running. The setup that is being run, and the track temp and how much grip and all that was out there. So we'll have to see. But let's go ahead and bring up your scoring pylon right now. See exactly how qualifying is going. It's going to take a couple seconds or so, or less than a minute for some to get their times on up. I believe they were running times, or the fastest were running times in the bracket of like 52, 53 seconds, give or take. So what do you say we jump on down with a few and catch up with them as they tackle this course? How about we catch up first with the one and only Brian Pizzicami in this TWRS Silverado. As he's coming around, let's go ahead and bring up your track map. That way you can do our best to keep up with everybody that's out there. And of course, as always on the left-hand side, you'll be able to keep up with your favorite driver and where they're about to start the race. So far, Colin's going to go ahead and push Pizzicami down to P2. Tom Harmon and his Avril Lavigne 68. P3, Claire Murphy, John Osborne, and Mr. Weaver right there so far in the top 8. Got to make sure we get our sponsor information on up there. Of course, we still carrying the Nigu colors. That is never ever give up. That is making sure that we are completely in support of any and all children battling with cancer. Never ever giving up. All right, 78 getting a little loose. Got all kinds of slideways, able to gather it back up and push on. Looks like Pizzicami in his second lap was faster, so he goes back to the top of the boards. How about Jordan Anderson back here in this number 30? Some people were commenting about how high the left front of these trucks actually are, and yeah, that is absolutely for a purpose. It's going up and over the hill. You don't want to bottom out, and when you get to the bottom of the hill, you don't want to bottom out yet again. You'll actually be able to see here as we keep up with him. Once he gets to the base of the hill, you'll see that you'll see the front end kind of get really low to the ground, and when it comes to the bottom, you'll see that front end really drop. So it's really for a purpose. Not just that, not the setup's not built wrong or anything like that. It's just to keep the nose off the ground. See, watch this. See how that nose gets buried in the pavement? If the nose was any higher on the straights, forget about it. The truck would be destroyed as it came off the bottom of the hill. All right, so how about we catch up with James Shainwolf out here in his number 01 Ford. James Shainwolf right now is showing to be P number 7. We saw Pizzicami get faster on his second lap, so maybe James Shainwolf will be able to do the same thing, as it looks like he's coming to the start stripe now, so we'll see what this new time's going to be. And it looks like he is going to stay P number 8. How about we go back with Jordan Anderson in this number 30. Jordan Anderson right now, he's showing P13. Looks like so far we got about 15 turned out for what iRacing Truck Series drivers on out here. And so far, again, Jordan Anderson looks like he's P13. Looks like that is going to be where he stays. How about Byron Jones in his Jones P&D number 19 Silverado. As he comes across the stripe that time, looks like he's going to be P number 12. How about Claire Murphy out here? Looks like he is done with that deuce. So far, P10. So the only one that's actually still out there right now is this guy right here. Again, Byron Jones in this number 19. Guys, girls, if you need any kind of a livery for either a truck, Xfinity car, next gen, Legends car, whatever it might be, make sure you reach out to Byron Jones at Jones P A-N-D-D. So Jones P&D on Twitter. He will absolutely hook you up with any kind of a scheme that you need. I think there was just recently something going on where the I don't think the prices changed, but I think he actually came up with some kind of a program to where if you purchase so many different schemes from him, it's like a punch card program. You get at the end of you purchasing like 6 or 8 of them, something like that. The next one is free. And I tell you what, he recently did a couple of schemes for a guy that I spot for on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And the schemes came out absolutely phenomenal. Plus, he's done schemes for me as well. So definitely appreciate everything that Byron does over at Jones P&D. Also looks like he's got the 213simware.com colors on the hood and also on the tailgate. It's been a little bit since Byron was out here in the turned out for what iRacing ranks. But due to some recent changes in the policy within the community, now it doesn't necessarily hurt you if you're away for a while. Sometimes life happens. Things come up with family, and it's not only 1 week. Sometimes it could be repetitive weeks, and you just have to take time away from the community or club that you want to race in. But now you're no longer, I don't want to say punished, but now you're no longer, they're excluded. There we go. There's a better word. You're no longer excluded from the series going down the road. All right, let's take a look and see exactly how much time these guys have left on qualifying. It looks like just under a minute. So Byron Jones, he's kind of getting a feel for the truck again and the road course, and basically just doing the best that he can. He joined the practice rather late, and now he's got the track to himself. Let's actually take a look at what the weather looks like. Maybe this will give a little bit of an idea as to why he's staying out there a little bit longer. Also, looks like 93 degree track temp, 72 degree air temp, about an 8 mile per hour wind. And sim time is just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so he's getting the practice in the heat of the day, right when the race time will be also. No, I don't believe there's any lights at this road course, so everything will be run during the day, doing the best that he can. All right, if you just joined out there in the land of Twitch and YouTube, again, big thank you to everybody that's out there. Don't forget, go on over, smash that subscribe, hit the follow, and just make sure you keep notifications on. That way you never miss when this series goes live. Right now, this is the only series that runs on my channel. That's on Sunday nights, and will be for about the next 4 or 5 weeks before I got to break it all down and make a big old move from just north of Raleigh, North Carolina, which is where we are now, up to Rochester, New York. So I'll be trading in the sun and the warmth for the Great Lakes and the cold. So it is what it is, but hey, it's something that I've got to do, and we're in process of getting that move made. So Byron, after several laps, pulls it on down pit road, and it looks like when it's all said and done, all chips are on the table. Even with all that practice, he was still about 2 minutes or 2 seconds off the pace. All right, let's go ahead and clear all that out. Let's go ahead and pull up your grid right now. All right, so Brian Piscemi on the pole in that TWRS number 78 with Austin Collins in that number 74 to his outside. Kenny Lind in the 57 is going to start P3. P4, Tom Harmon in that Avril Lavigne number 68. Chris Murphy in the 7 sitting P5 with Mike Miller in the 5. P7 is going to be Brandon Groover in the 55 with James Shanewolf in the 01 P8. P9, John Osborne in the 81 with Claire Murphy in the deuce sitting P10. And to round out the top 12, looks like it's going to be Chris Weaver in the 82 with Byron Jones in the 19 to his outside. Looks like the rest of the field consists of Jordan Anderson in that number 30, 13th. Davey Weaver in the 28 sitting 14th. 15 is going to be Mike Papa Bear Campbell in the 71 with Andrew Chapman in the 25 sitting 1-6. 17th is going to be Stan Carnathan. Big welcome back to him in that number 14 sitting 17th. Justin Aniscott going to be up in race control but did turn a few laps to get a feel of the track. And then it looks like Jim Duda in the 053 and Doug King a little bit further in the back. Or it could be that we'll have to see if Justin Aniscott is actually racing tonight or not. But again, 20 guys out here on track. It's going to be a phenomenal race here in Connecticut. Cannot wait to fire this thing off. Right now, everybody's sitting behind the pace truck, thinking about the practice that they got, the track conditions, their competition, how hard they've got to go, how long they might have to last on those tires here for this full 50-lap race in Connecticut. Again, Lime Rock Road Course, going to be one hell of a time, and I definitely want to wish everybody a great evening. Glad that you're here. Let's go racing. All right, let's go ahead and clear these boards and get ready to pull on away. Hope everybody's doing well. Ready for some road course racing here on Sunday night. It's been a great season so far. Got several weeks left. And we'll have some news coming up as to where you'll be able to catch the season finale for the Turned Out For What iRacing Truck Series once I have to hand the mic on over for my move. Again, I'll be here until Talladega, and then after that, I'll have to bid you a fond adieu until I'm able to pick it all back up again. All right, let's go ahead and bring on up your scoring pylon. Let's go ahead and bring up your track map and everything else that we've got, and we'll get this thing set off. Let me go ahead and reset the overlay. I have just a little bit of an issue there with it. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Now we got our track map back. We got everything that we need, and we're going to get ready to roll off. All right, 7 turns here at Lime Rock Road Course. And we got all kinds of elevation changes. As you can see, I'm coming downhill. I hope y'all are ready to race. I absolutely am. Barney in the flag stand. He's got that green flag out. Let's get ready to roll. Pace truck's off the track.
Green flag, green
flag. Green flag. Let's go. Oh, so it looks like so far Brian Piscemi in this number 78 is the man. He's got a decent little lead, about 7.5 tenths over Austin Collins back here in this number 74 for Team Watson Racing. Kenny Lind right now sitting P3 in that number 57. Let's go ahead and bring up your driver information. That way you know exactly who it is I'm talking about. And the truck, right now, Tom Harmon sitting P4. Chris Murphy back here, and he's got Brandon Groover just behind him. James Shanewell, big welcome back to him in that 01. He's been away for several weeks as well, so big welcome back. What a track to come back to. Just like Byron Jones and Stan Carnathan and a couple others, as the 2 and the 19 make a little bit of door contact. 2's going to slide on down. 19's going to try to grab the grip up and over the hill, and looks like it's going to be the 82 of Chris Weaver getting a little loose there, but able to save it, just as well as the 81 of John Osborne. There's the other Weaver, the 28 of Davey Weaver, just behind his dad now. 28 looking a little loose off the corner. Them going down the side, down across the start stripe, rather. Side by side. 28's going to give way. 82's going to go wide. They're going to come off side by side as well. 82 down on the rumble strips, giving Dad a whole lot of room. Pressing, but not too bad. They're going to go back nose to tail. Or is the 28 going to be able to pull a little bit of a slide job? No, he's not. We're going to keep it going. Great racing by those two. Let's go back just a little bit. How about Andrew Chapman and John Osborne, as we're on with the 30 of Osborne right now. Right behind him is going to be Mike Miller in that number 5. Mike Miller got my logo on the back, and he's also got a logo that is near and dear to the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series as well. Hashtag Willow Strong, riding around with the 5 here in Connecticut. All right, check out this number 81 just ahead of him for John Osborne. John Osborne looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this thing. Not that one. I didn't want that one. There we go. Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, chasing and giving chase. Nice little scheme. Haven't seen those two in a pretty long time. Everything up front, still the same. Brian Pizzicami leading. There's the 81 of John Osborne, letting Mike Miller go on by, as it looks like just ahead of those. Might have been a truck that had a little bit of a lockup. Might have been Andrew Chapman in this monster number 25, but it looks like he's all right. You see the flames shoot out the tailpipe, meaning that he's letting off the gas, getting on the brake, setting himself up for these wicked turns. I know I mentioned it before, but I definitely want to say it again. Big thank you to Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of our United States Army, sole sponsor of the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series. If you are a veteran in or around the great state of Indiana and you want to know more about any kind of programs that are available to you, like maybe Leon's Heroes or the Hero Care program, or if you just want to go on over to their website and you want to take a look at it all for yourself, you can do it right here. I'm sending the link out there in chat right quick. NetworkAllianceForVeterans.com. Go on over and take a look. And if you want to, if all the information that you see there is something that you might be interested in, maybe you want to know a little bit more, maybe you want to know how to get involved, you can also reach out to Lieutenant Colonel Ross at cfrossnav@yahoo.com as well. And let them know that you heard about it all through the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series while watching them go right and left in Lakeville, Connecticut at the at Lime Rock Road Course. It's a great program. He does it all out of his own pocket. So again, big thank you to Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross of our United States Army and NAV. All right, so let's go on up, check in with our leaders. I mentioned that he had about a 7/10 gap between him and Austin Collins. Well, Austin Collins been able to keep it right there in that Team Watson Racing Setups number 74. They've stayed 1-2 right where they qualified. Well, you want to know what? Right behind him, Kenny Lind in his 57. He's done the same thing. He started P3, still running P3. Tom Harmon in his Avril Lavigne number 68 started P4, still running P4. Same thing with Chris Murphy. I'm starting to recognize a theme here. All right, so the top 5 right now still in a position that they qualified in. Brandon Groover, however, he started P7 right now, sitting P6. James Shanewolf started 8th, currently sitting in 7th, and it just goes on from there. I got to tell you though, one of the guys that felt pretty solid about his chances this evening, he came right into the race this evening saying that he was going to be fast. And so far, Byron Jones, he has made up, as you can see there on that graphic, he has made up 4 spots since the start of this race. So he started 12th, as we covered when we were going through the grid. Right now up to P number 8 and going to try to continue to climb. Chris Weaver up 2 spots right now, sitting P9. But so far, the biggest mover has got to be this guy, Andrew Chapman, up 6 spots after starting 16th to P number 10. So we've gone over the top 10. Let's take a look at 11th. Mike Miller back here in this number 5, right behind that monster machine with John Osborne, a little bit behind him, talking about less than 2 seconds, about 1.5. Jordan Anderson, well, he started 13th, and that's right where he continues to run, P13. Same thing with Davey Weaver. He started P14, still running 14th in that Haviland number 28. Claire Murphy back here in the deuce for G Fuel. He's down 5 spots after starting P10. Mike Pop Bear Campbell started 15th, sitting 16th in his star-spangled number 71. His tribute truck he brought out last week. Still, you see the Twin Towers on the back. All kinds of a great paint scheme right there. And he continues to show his support for any and all causes that become near and dear to the Turn Down for What iRacing community. Stan Carnathan back here in this number 82. He started in the 17th spot, and that's where he continues to run. Meanwhile, Doug King right behind him in P18. He started 20th, so he's up 2 spots. Jim Duda, he looks like might be having a problem, not quite sure. All right, so let's get back on up to our front here right quick. All right, so that's how they roll. Let's take a look at some times between the leaders and those that are around him. So obviously the red is off pace or slower than those around him. So right now Austin Collins, he's been faster 3 of the last 5 laps. Then Brian Pizzacchemi in the lead, as well as Kenny Lind behind him in that number 57. So the 74 might be, kind of minding his tires, maybe saving a little bit of fuel here and there. But so far, it looks like he's definitely running down Brian Pizzacchemi. Not every lap, but you can definitely see there 3 of the last 5 laps, he has picked up a good half second. He lost 2/10 on lap number 8. Lap 9, he lost another few hundredths, but not all that much. So he's definitely gained more in the last 5 laps than he has lost. So what do you say we kind of go through the field again, do a little bit of a crank it up session, so show you some of the sights and sounds of Lime Rock Road Course. Starting with our leader, Brian Pizzacchemi. Let's go. All right, bringing it back in, working lap number 17 of 50 here for the NAV 50 live from Lime Rock Park. Again, I am Repeat, and this is the turnout for what iRacing Truck Series. Been a phenomenal race so far. Working or looking on right now with Byron Jones in his 2-3 Simware Jones PND machine. And I tell you what, that's Silverado still looking pretty good. I mentioned before that Byron Jones is up a little bit. Well, he's picked it up even one more spot. He's up now 5 spots, trying to get into the top 5. Right now, sitting P7. He's got James Shanewolf. He's going to be right behind. I'm sorry, Byron Jones is going to be right behind Shanewolf. There's the back camera for James. And if we're looking behind Byron Jones, you see Brandon Gruber right behind him. Brandon Gruber at number 55. Good looking machine as well. So as you can see by that track map on the bottom right hand side of your screen, these guys are literally all over this track. All depends on the kind of pace that they're able to keep up with. You know, I mentioned before that that Byron Jones, he was about a good 2 seconds off the leader's pace. And I mean, right now the leader, he is going into, he's in the middle or the exit of the big carousel. I'm sorry, the Big Bear Bend, I should say. Now going up through the big S's, and he's coming up right behind 14th place. So let's go on back there as you see that number 78 getting closer and closer to the machine. I believe it's going to be John Osborne. Yep, in that Roadrunner and Coyote machine. John Osborne trying to hold on, doing the best that he can. He was one that was pretty vocal in practice about how he felt the setup was running for him. But of course, you know, it's these trucks are going to feel differently for everybody as they come across the start lap 20. Leaders definitely bearing in on the 81. Let's kind of watch things here from Brian Pizzicemi as it gets closer and closer. He's going to go ahead and bring it underneath as the 81 gladly gets out of the racing groove. And now here comes the 74. 74 is going to hope for the same courtesy as it looks like the 81. Yep, he's going to go ahead and pull over to the side, let the 74 go on by when the time is right. '74 has been pretty fast. Right now about 2.5 seconds. As John Osborne, he's going to go way off track to make sure that he doesn't impede the driver in P2 right then and there. And now here comes Tom Harmon back here in this Avril Lavigne number 68. Tom still, I tell you, he started P4, he's up to P3. The only guys that are right where they started as the 81's getting loose, just about misses the back end of that 68. Tom Harmon had to be really thinking about what he was about to see right there. Let's go back and watch that yet again, because that could have been disastrous for driver 68. Let's play this out. So this is where he kind of goes off track of letting the 74 go on by. Next thing you see is a 68 coming up on him. Here comes 68 making the right-hander. And it just looks like, I mean, that could have gone all kinds of wrong for both of these guys. 81 definitely got very, very loose. And let's actually stop it right there and back this up, because, I mean, he was right on the back bumper of this 68. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right rear, and we'll play this in slow-mo. And you see just how close this winds up being. You see the smoke there, and you're going to watch the 81 come back across. Look at that. Oh, that could have been bad. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, but no harm, no foul. 68's able to keep on going. Chris Murphy right now still sitting P4 in his number 7. He's up 1 spot after starting P5. James Shanewolf, he's up 3 spots. Byron Jones, though, he's getting closer and closer. If we were to hop on board with Byron Jones, take a look from the nose cam as he comes up this hill. you kind of lose track of everybody while you're going up that hill. You don't know if they're having a problem or if there's any other traffic up there. No cautions so far, and to be honest, the only caution or the only way that there would be a caution this evening is if so many. Oh, hold on to it, Byron. Hold on to it, buddy. Byron wrecks the back end. Let's go ahead and back this up. Hopefully, we didn't just curse this young guy. All right. Hopefully he wasn't actually watching a broadcast while he was racing. Let's go ahead and play this out because he definitely got very, very squirrely. You see the back end step out. He's trying to save it. Tags the inside guardrail with the left rear, and he's going to go ahead and grab a gear, get up, get going. So far, that relegates him back to P7 and loses all kinds of time. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, so Byron Jones, that puts him back to P7, just slightly ahead of Kenny Lind here in the 57. Kenny Lind, of course, he's fallen back a few after starting in third. Must have had maybe an excursion or two off track, but still inside the top 10. Same thing with Mike Miller back here in this number 5, sitting P9, and Chris Weaver sitting P number 10. Up front still, Brian Pizzakemi leading the way. Austin Collins still sitting P2, and Tom Harmon right here P3. It looks like Tom Harmon also getting a little loose right there. He's right behind the 28, so this is not a battle for position. 28 is now a lap down as ooh, boy, that turn scares me every time they come down that hill. Yeah, right now though, the 28, Davey Weaver, he's back in P12, still up 2 spots from where he started. But you see the 28 move on over, let the 68 go. Driver etiquette right there, and they're able to roll on. All right. Let's go ahead and show some lap times again and the differences between them. So right now, Austin Collins sitting P2. Austin Collins, he was faster than the leader earlier. We kind of talked about that, and he's been faster than the leader 3 of the last 5 laps yet again. Look at that, lap 22. He was faster than the leader by 6 whole tenths. I mean, over a half second, gained another little bit there on lap 23. Lap 24, another 2 tenths plus. Let's take a look at lap 25. Lap 25, it kind of fell down about 2 tenths. But this number 74 is bad fast. Going to try to get on up there. There's a good save by him earlier. We'll have to see how this all plays out. Only 2 seconds now behind Brian Pizzakemi. Brian Pizzakemi still putting on one hell of a clinic here on speed. He's come across more and more lap vehicles. Right now behind the 25, that's going to be Andrew Chapman. Andrew Chapman sitting in P number 8. So that goes to show the kind of pace that driver 78 is really running this evening. Will the 25 go ahead and move on over, or does he feel like he's got to fight and try to stay on the lead lap? Again, we're not going to see any cautions. Just I say that we just saw the number 7 come on back out of pit road. It's going to be Chris Murphy sitting in 7th place. So I have to keep an eye on pit road as well, see if people are starting to go on down pit road. And just as I say that, looks like Davey Weaver, he's brought his number 28 Haviland machine down pit road with 24 laps to go. That means everybody should be able to make it here with just 1 pit stop. He came in just after he got lapped, grabbed 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, fill it up with that Sunoco E15 fuel, bring it on back out, and try to tear up the road. Brandon Groover in that number 55. He's going to do the same thing. Come on down pit road. Looks like for him so far it's going to be fuel. Oh, no, there it is. All right, so he's grabbing tires as well. Come on back out. And I'll take it easy at first because you definitely don't have the heat in those new tires. And you definitely got to take it easy. Chris Weaver in the 82 Fox Sports machine. He's going to come on down. Chris Weaver is actually a photojournalist for the Fox8.com news channel, or Fox 8 news channel. He was around for everything that happened with North Wilkesboro and everything else. He's actually really, really good at what he does, and it's always great to see his updates, what's going on in the world of sports. All right, Brian Pizzacchemi, how much longer until driver 78 comes on down pit road? Austin Collins, he's still out there as well. So far, Kenny Lind, he pit on lap 19. James Shanewolf pit on lap 24. Chris Murphy pit on lap 25. Brandon Groover, we just watched him go down on lap 26. Byron Jones went down on lap 23. Chris Weaver went in on lap 26. On lap 25, saw Davey Weaver, John Osborne on lap 24, and Stan Carnathan back on lap 14. Claire Murphy now on pit road in the deuce. Really, really slow entry onto pit road. I definitely see others get to be a little bit more aggressive, but hey, you got to be careful. It's actually a really, really short entrance to this pit road before you get to that commitment cone, and you don't want to be caught speeding. All right, back up front. Here's your gap. Austin Collins right here, right behind the 7 machine that is a lap down. Again, that's going to be Chris Murphy. So as you can see there, Chris Murphy on the scoring pylon. He is the first truck 1 lap down. Only the top 6 right now on the lead lap. Jordan Anderson back here in the number 30 Nike Pro machine. He's going to go ahead and bring that Silverado to the attention of his pit crew as well. So far, it's just the top 3. Brian Pizzacchemi, Austin Collins, Tom Harmon, as well as the driver in P5, Mike Miller. P8 is going to be Andrew Chapman and Mike Papa Bear Campbell back in P15 that have not yet come down pit road. So it's going to be interesting between the 78 and the 74. Who blinks first to come on down pit road? Because the entrance to pit road, we just saw how short that is, as well as you want to carry as much speed as you can into the entrance. You don't want to speed. You want to get to your pit box. Looks like the 78, he's going to come on down pit road. I'm sorry, 74 rather. He's going to come on down pit road. Did it pretty quick as well. So we'll have to see if he was able to get that thing woed and slowed up, and how long now Brian Pizzacchemi stays out. It looks like Tom Harmon has also brought Avril Lavigne down pit road to the attention of his crew. Those two just separated by a single pit stall. 74 definitely got to his first. 68 just right behind. Both of them taking 4 tires and making way out of pit road. So Brian Pizzacchemi, when does he come? How aggressive is he getting onto pit road? Does he short his box? Does he go long? Does he have any kind of an issue? So far, it looks like here he is, coming down pit road, carrying speed, but getting loose on the entrance. Was he able to woe it up, or was he caught speeding? We'll have to see. Let's take a look. Austin Collins' pit time was a 14:90. Kenny Lind was a 16:57, and Tom Harmon's pit time was a 14:63. Looks like James Shanewolf had a 14:70. Byron Jones had a 14:60. Jordan Anderson had a 14:70. So we got to see just how long Brian Pizzacchemi is on pit road. And so far, it looks like he's going to be in and out with a time of 14:43. And here comes the 74. So the only one that we are waiting, or the only ones that we're waiting to see if they're coming down pit road, since Mike Miller is on pit road now, it's going to be Andrew Chapman back here in P8 and Mike Pop Bear Campbell in P15. But in the meantime, we've got a new leader. Kenny Lind came in on lap number 19 in his Toyota TRD number 57. And by doing so, he's got a 3.7 second gap back to Collins, Pizzacchemi, Harmon, Shanewolf. That's going to be the top 5. Then you got Murphy, Groover, and Byron Jones. Looks like the 5 of Mike Miller, he was able to get back on the lead lap as well. 50 seconds behind the leader, Kenny Lind, as we're watching him right now. The first truck 1 lap down is going to be the 82 of Chris Weaver, who right now sits in P11. All right, so again, 18 laps remaining here. This race at Lime Rock's been pretty interesting. Seeing a big difference between when guys came down pit road and how much longer others stayed out. It's going to be interesting to see if Kenny Lind can keep those guys behind him. Maybe he's hoping that the tires will equalize well before any of the guys are able to catch on up to him. But right now, as we take a look at some lap times, looks like Austin Collins, look at that. He was slower on his first lap out, but I'm sorry, on his previous 3 laps. But look at lap 32 and 33, 6/10 gain, then another 6/10 gain on lap 33. So lap 32, 33, he gained over a second, 1.2 seconds to be exact, on driver 57. Driver 57, again, Kenny Lind, just a mere 2 seconds up from these guys. And if I'm not mistaken, if we jump on board with Kenny Lind and we jump to the rear camera, we're gonna see a little bit of 78 dancing in that rear view. There it is. And he's bringing Austin Collins, bringing Brian Pizzichelli with him. This is the first time that Brian has had to deal with anybody in front of him except for lap traffic since the start of the race. How about that? Brian Pizzichelli just now going purple, going plaid, we'll say. He just posted the fastest time of the race with the 53.33. That's a good 10th and a half or more faster than anybody else that's been close to him. The only other driver so far in the 53-second bracket after pitting is Austin Collins, right ahead of him with a 53.46. So second and third, very, very similar on pace. There have been quite a few that have been in the 53-second bracket. Other than those two, just the 53.33 has been the fastest so far. Battle for a P2. 78 going to go ahead and throw it to the inside of the 74 going into the corner. It looks like 78 just able to wrap that, oh boy, wrap that big bend a whole lot better. And 74 had no choice but to let the 78 go. And they're both going to be hunting that lead for P2 very, very soon. Looking back again from Kenny Lind, when we were watching earlier, we saw that the 74 at the time coming. Well, yeah, they are there. Coming up on lap traffic, I think that was going to be the number 28 Haviland machine. That truck right now is Davey Weaver sitting in P14. Here we go, side by side into turn number 1 through the big bend. 57 is going to be able to hold it as a 74, 78, a little bit of a challenge back there. 74 not able to do much. Didn't want to get into the 78, which could have sent the 57 of Kenny Lind reeling as well. But let's take a look now from the front end of Brian Pizzichelli's truck and what he's got to do to try to get on by. Looks like 28's going to go ahead and pull on over, allow Kenny Lind to go on. And it looks like he's going to stay there as well to let Brian Pizzichelli as well as Austin Collins in the 74 get going also. If you're wondering about Tom Harmon still right now is running P number 4 right where he started. Really, he hasn't gained or lost anything. And right now he shows to be a good almost 4 seconds behind this battle for the lead. These three nose to tail going through these big ol' S's here at Lime Rock. Again, big track in Connecticut, 7 turns, and a whole lot of fun for these guys. 78 looking a little loose there, under throttle, saw the back end kick out just slightly. Absolutely wheeling it up and over that corner. See him get a little sideways, but doing all right. Same thing with the 28. 28's going to have an issue. And not quite sure if he was able to save that or not. Nope, he is sideways parked on the track. He's got to hope that nobody comes on over. Right now, I'm sure his spotter is saying, truck coming, truck coming. Going to go ahead and grab a gear, get up, get going. You see the 71 of Mike Pop Bear Campbell, as well as the 25 of Andrew Chapman go on by. Here comes the 82, dear old dad, going on by, as well as the 30. So everybody up to Jordan Anderson so far and more. There goes James Shanewolf. So it looks like the 28's really lost quite a few spots right then and there. Backup battle for the lead. You haven't missed anything. Kenny Lind still leading the way. Brian Pizzakemi and Austin Collins. Tom Harmon way back here with Avril Lavigne. Right now he's at the top of the track, coming on down the backside. Big bend there. Down the hill. Going to make this right-hander and come across the start stripe. 12, now 11 laps to go as Avril Lavigne's number 68 for Tom Harmon piloting comes across the line. Here's that battle for the top three. Tell you what, you look at Brian Pizzakemi and Austin Collins' laps, it still shows that Kenny Lind is faster, or has been faster, 3 of the last 5 laps. So I think what he wanted to happen as far as the tires kind of equalizing may have actually come to fruition. Because those guys, they're not gaining big amounts of time anymore. It just seems like whenever Kenny Lind falls into the hands of lap traffic, that's where he really struggles. Let's go ahead and take a look from the front camera for Kenny Lind and see what he sees out from his front bumper. The truck you see up there is going to be the 5 of Mike Miller. Mike Miller right now sitting in P number 9, and we look behind him from his gearbox. There you see Brian Pizzakemi literally all over it. Again, coming down the hill to the right-hander to start another lap. This will make it 9 laps remaining inside single digits. There we go. 9 laps to go here in the NAV 50, the Network Alliance for Veterans 50-lapper from Lime Rock Park. It looks like the 57 ended up going really wide right there. And he's going to try to shut the door on the 74 of Austin Collins, and is able to do so. And that's going to give the 78 the lead back. Let's see if there's any contact between these two. The 57 really going wide on these turns. Almost wonder again. Kenny Lind, he was last on pit road, lap number 19. So while the tires may have equalized, at some point they're going to give a little bit more than those that have been on pit road on lap 30 or lap 31. So Lind really just trying to hold on. He's got a good bit over over Tom Harmon should he lose the position to the 74. Here comes the 74 looking to the inside in a braking zone. 57 to the outside, 74 inside. They stay off each other in the carousel, if you want to call it that, kind of like you would at Watkins Glen. How about Chris Buescher getting it done today from the Glen after a green-white checker holding off Shane Van Gisbergen. See the 28 going off track to allow the leaders to go on by. And how about Tom Harmon? You see that Avril Lavigne Camaro, Silverado rather. You see him getting closer and closer to those guys. Let's take a look from Kenny Lind, Austin Collins, and Tom Harmon as far as lap times go. Tom Harmon, fastest 2 of the last 5 laps. Lind, 2 of the last 5 laps. But Austin Collins, he's been pretty quick also. Here's from Tom Harmon. Seven laps to go. What do you say we do another little bit of a crank it up session? We'll keep an eye on our leaders, and let's take a couple laps around Lime Rock yet again. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back in. 2 laps remaining. Checking back up with our leaders. Brian Piskemi in the 78, who's undoubtedly led the most laps this evening. He's got the 74 of Austin Collins right up his trumpet. And that gap that they had earlier is literally gone. 74 looking to try to close in goes a little deep into the corner, is able to get back on the throttle. Again, Austin Collins, he does have 1 lap fresher tires than the 78, but Brian Pizzicami started on pole, and Austin Collins started P2, Kenny Lynn started 3rd, Tom Harmon started 4th, Chris Murphy started 5th. Well, guess what? That is exactly, as you can see there on that scoring pylon, where they continue to run. 74 trying to get a big launch up and off the corner. White flag is out. Down through these S's. Who is going to get there? Does the 74 have anything left? Can he push and still keep that number 74 on the track? Now a little bit more of a gap than we've seen in the past. And these guys getting, looks like 74 might be losing just a little bit of time there as they come up behind the number 19 of Byron Jones and his Jones P&D Silverado down the hill for the final right-hander. Looks like it's going to be 78 of Brian Pizzicami getting it done at Lime Rock. P2, Austin Collins, Kenny Lynn brings it home. P3, that is going to be your podium. Tom Harmon brings it home P4 right where he started. Chris Murphy, same thing, right in P5. James Shanewolf, P6 after advancing his spot up 2. Brandon Gruber started 7th. That's where he finished. Byron Jones started 12th. He's going to finish 8th. Mike Miller is going to be down 3 spots, but still inside the top 10 at 9th. Chris Weaver up 1 to P10. P11, Andrew Chapman, Claire Murphy, Jordan Anderson, Davey Weaver, Mike Pop Bear Campbell, John Osborne, and Stan Carnathan is going to round out your field. Again, big congratulations to Brian Pizzicami in his TWRS number 78 Silverado, getting it done yet again. All right, bringing it down after his cool down lap. Let's go ahead and clear the boards. Give the man his due. Brian, it's yours. Burn it down. Or maybe he just wants a nice picture of his truck next to the Lime Rock sign. Maybe. That could be also. He's knowing Brian, he's gonna maybe he's gonna let the rest of the field complete their lap before he burns it down. That could very well be. That could be. So maybe he's waiting for James Shanewolf and Brandon Gruber and Chris Weaver, Andrew Chapman, and a few of those guys. All right, let's go. All right, so again, that was your top 3. Brian Pizzicami, Austin Collins, and Kenny Lind. Let's go ahead and bring up your results right now as he tries to go ahead and burn them down. Pop goes the weasel. All right, ladies and gents, we will be right back with our top 3 live from the booth. Don't anybody go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gents, we are back on our top 3 live in the booth. Going to start off with driver 57, and of course, our top 5 all finished right where they qualified. So Kenny Lynn started third, finishing third. Kenny, one hell of a race. You pit on lap number 19, well before anybody else. I didn't think you were going to be able to make it on fuel. I didn't say that on stream, but I was like, okay, let's see how this works out. And you were able to make up all kinds of time on the top 2, but in the closing laps, it kind of, to use your terms, kind of started to fall apart with on you. But I didn't think that I thought maybe you'd be able to hold up, or I didn't think you'd be able to hold them off as long as you did. When I was watching their first couple laps out, they were gaining more than 6/10 at a time. Walk us through your race, your strategy, and what you think of this top 3 finish.
Well, I was doing a pretty good job of avoiding top 3 all year so far, so this is different. But I wanted to try and kind of see if I could drag him down early, because I felt like my long run pace was going to be a little bit better. Because I feel like towards the end there, right before I pit, I was catching back up, and I was hoping I could kind of drag him down and put him on live strategy, but it didn't work. Then I just had to play defensive when they finally caught me.
If you could change things, instead of coming in on lap 19, do you think you might go in on like lap 24, lap 25 to see what the difference of tires would have been, to maybe you would have been able to hold them off just a little bit longer? Do you think that might be a strategy that you'll employ the next time you're at Lime Rock? I mean, I know this isn't a very often raced course for the trucks, Xfinity and Cup, as far as league race goes. But you think it might be something that you'll try later on?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Immediately after they came out of the pits there, I knew I was probably about 5 laps off on where I needed to be. So I tried to defend as long as I could, and eventually that left rear just didn't want to do it anymore.
Gotcha. Next week, we head to Chicagoland. Absolutely love that track. You definitely have the high line, middle line, and the low. What do you think about visiting the Windy City? Is that kind of your kind of pie, or what you got going on?
Oh, definitely. That's a fun track. Half of me just wants to run the wall the entire time to see what happens, but yeah, it's a fun track for sure.
All right, so Kenny Lind will be Kyle Larsoning it.
Oh yeah.
There we go. All right, but congratulations on this podium finish. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to get out there?
Oh yeah, shout out my my team, Heel Turn. I know some of them are out sick, and Andrew showed up tonight and he fought the whole race and did good. Yeah, shout out to them. My dad, he watches the races here and there, so shout out to him, and shout out to Austin and Brian for winning.
Yeah, it's definitely a great battle between the three of you. Once they caught you and they stayed nose to tail, I was curious how long it was going to be before they finally decided to pounce on you or pounce on each other, and it all worked out. Everybody kept it clean. Lap cars were very respectful when y'all came screaming on by. Couldn't ask for much more.
Hey, shout out to you and Papa.
I
can't forget that.
Appreciate you, buddy. All right, moving on up. P number 2, Austin Collins in that number 74 Yoda. Austin, it seemed like you and the 78 were very, very fast all night long. You weren't able to catch him in the closing laps. I did see you back up the corner on a couple spots to try to get that run to maybe go to his inside and maybe pull him side by side and just get something going, and maybe in a braking zone or whatnot. What more did you need to get on by Brian in those closing laps?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sitting here trying to think, and I don't know. He did a great job holding me up, holding me off, and doing what he had to do to get the win. So it was a lot of fun still. Like I said, just trying to battle for it. I know those first 40 some laps, I was content just riding behind him and just gave him breaks. And like I said, I know I had my one off track and it really got us gapped up, but then lap cars kind of came into play and got there at the end, and I pitted a lap before him and thought I'd made the winning strategy there, but I ended up letting him get right back by me, and he was able to get clear of Kenny first, and then I was trying to play catch up from there, and had a good shot going into one with like 5 to go, and I really had to get on the binders, and it got spooked a little bit, and ended up driving up on the curb, and then it was really big catch up again. Like I said, I was all over his bumper, but he did a great job holding me off, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we saw when he came off pit road, he literally came off right behind you, and just stayed right there with you as Kenny, you guys started to try to run down Kenny Lynn, and eventually you did that. It was definitely a phenomenal race all the way through. It was fun to watch every single one of you tackle the rights and lefts of Lime Rock. What are you thinking about Chicagoland next week?
Hopefully it'll be pretty good. Want to imagine dirty air might be a thing.
Yep.
Dirty air was pretty big here tonight at road course, so I can imagine next week it'll be pretty intense. Like I said, though, the multiple lines that'll make it quite interesting, and being able to run, like I said, run all 3 lines, and certain lines save tire a little bit better or whatnot. So it'll be fun. It'll be another the ovals, which I'm not complaining about.
Yeah, get back on a 1.5 mile oval where we're pretty much just turning lefts. But phenomenal show here at Lime Rock. Any quick friends, family sponsor you want to get out there, sir?
Yeah, I got to thank Papa for doing the league. I got to thank you, Pete, for doing the broadcast. You did a great job. I also got to thank, excuse me, I got to thank all my teammates that raced with me tonight over Weaver Motorsports, I guess is what we're called. um, Big shout out to Brian for winning tonight. Like I said, getting himself a win is pretty awesome. I love seeing Brian win. So big shout out for that. And I also like to shout out Team Watson Racing for allowing me to be a part of their team and allowing me to run their really fast setups every single week.
And not bad. TWRS 1-2 this evening. Phenomenal finish for you guys. We'll see you next week in Windy City, sir.
Yes, sir. Take care, Pete.
You got it, buddy. All right, last but not least, Brian Pizzacami. Brian, you put on I don't want to say a clinic for all, but when we're talking a pace that only the top 8 were left on the lead lap out of 18, that means at one point or another you came across at least 10 other guys and put them one lap down on a 7-turn course where a lot of people were really complaining. Well, I don't want to say a lot of people were complaining, but were saying that the setup was kind of loose and it was tough to drive at times, but yet you were able to keep it on course for the most part the entire evening, put a ton of trucks a lap down, and yet still have a very, very competitive battle with Austin Collins and Kenny Lind. Walk us through your race and your strategy.
Oh man, it first of all, that was a very long, hard fought battle with Austin and Kenny at the end there. I truly didn't know if Kenny's strategy would have played out, but it was starting to get a little troublesome trying to get by after burning up the tires a little bit. But it's all night has been just trying to keep the rear tires underneath me. Man, it was any sort of slip up and the truck just wanted to kick out, especially going up the hill where it got so light and where it was the biggest trouble spot all night for everybody. I think I saw one truck with like 5 to go just take a hard right off the hill. I was like, okay, I hope that's not me, because I'm struggling to breathe, just holding my breath, trying to hold off Austin at the very end.
Yeah, it was definitely a very, very hard fought race, and I did see 1 or 2 trucks really lose it or get close to losing it at the top of that hill. I mean, when you guys were coming to the crest, the front tires were off the track. So I mean, you're carrying a ton of speed coming up, and you're coming into a blind part of the track. You don't know if somebody else got to the top and lost it, and they're laying there, sideways across the track trying to grab a gear and get up and get going. But man, a phenomenal race by you. You led most points, led most laps, getting max points. There we go. Get it right one of these days. It's going to be interesting to see, going back oval racing next week. You, Austin Collins, Tom Harmon, and several others have been very, very fast all season long. And I'll be here all the way through Talladega. What do you think of your chances maybe going back to back next week in Windy City?
Well, going back over racing, so it's going to be a tighter battle for sure between a lot of the front runners. I don't know about Chicagoland. It's going to be an interesting one. I think Austin touched on earlier where dirty air is going to play even more of a factor than it did tonight. So it's going to be a lot of having to manage the right front and make sure we can be in the right place at the right time.
Well, like I said, I'll be here all the way through Talladega. I cannot wait to see how the rest of the season plays out for you, both with me or with Joe over on OSRN. Cannot wait. More information will be put out there about where everybody able to catch the season finale or the season final four, I guess we could say. But man, phenomenal race. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to get out there?
Absolutely, Papa Bear for hosting the league, you for broadcasting, my teammates over at Weaver, especially Austin for giving me as many breaks as he did. He could have passed me so many times, and I appreciate him not absolutely murdering us both at times. And then Team Watson Racing for letting me be on their team.
All right, bud. Well, again, phenomenal race, phenomenal finish. Max points to you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. All right, ladies and gents, that's going to wrap it up from Lime Rock Park. Again, big shout out to Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of our United States Army. If you are a veteran in the greater Indiana area or greater, if you are a veteran in the state of Indiana or any of the surrounding states, please reach out to Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross at cfrossnav@yahoo.com. I'll actually go ahead and put his email address out there for you right now. If you want to find out any more about like Leon's Heroes or the Hero Care program, or maybe you just want to go on over and take a look at everything that they've got going on, I'll also put their website up there for you right now as well. NetworkAllianceForVeterans.com. Learn more. Find out what you can if you are a veteran, or maybe you've got a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, mother, father, whatever. Maybe they can use some of the information that Lieutenant Colonel Ross can offer. We'll see y'all next week from Chicagoland. Can't wait to be there. Take it easy, guys.